The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Gaz, an orc barbarian in search of adventure.
I'm Konnor Shenold. I play Konnor with a K, a Kobold Sorcerer who is a continuous thorn in the Empire's side.
I'm Johnny Payne, and I play the half-elf roguish warlock, Zonimus Dinar, who's going to take back everything he's ever lost.
I'm Kiri Hester, and I play Poppy Tealeaf, a halfling druid who is determined to protect the frontier from the might of the Empire.
I'm Brooke Bullock, and I play Mokrin Stoneshaper, a young dwarf sorcerer finding his true family as revealed by the secrets of the frontier.
And I'm Ash King, your dungeon master. Join us now for Tales from the Callbend Frontier. The calm, placid surface of the Lake of Tears hides many secrets, one of which has just attempted to climb onto your boat. As you were bedding down for the night, trying to get some rest before potentially meeting up with Straum, the frost giant guardian of the Key of Water, a quite large, huge actually, cephalopod has attempted to climb onto your boat and is currently playing with the barbarian as if he is a yo-yo. And Zonimus, it is your turn.
Zonimus whispers, "Now you've gone too far, you've got my friend," and swears an oath to end this cephalopod, and it rolls a 26.
That will hit.
And the damage is, wow, so 30 points of damage.
Dang.
Oh my gosh.
And this time, instead of ducking behind the mast and hiding, he steps out from behind it.
Okay. So the octopus sits there contemplating for a second as it's dangling the barbarian. It decides it is going to throw the barbarian at you. Zonimus, I'm going to need you to give me a dexterity save.
Sure.
And Gaz, you're going to take, because you were 20 feet up in the air, so you are going to take 2d6 for, just being hurled down against the rogue.
Well, is it -2 if he hits me and +2 if he doesn't? Because he hit hard planks.
So it would be 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Reduced to 4.
Reduced to 4.
What did my roll give me?
What was your roll?
14.
Okay, you dodge. So Gaz, you are thrown down onto the deck and knocked prone.
It's okay.
Look down at him and go, "You understand, right?" My hands in the air.
I understand. Two-handed weapon. You couldn't catch me.
All right. Poppy.
I'm going to try again to stab him with my flame blade. So it's going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
Will hit.
And then that's going to be 17 fire damage.
17 fire damage, okay.
And I say, "Get off my boat! You weren't invited. That's not right. That's not polite. You can't just walk up on someone's boat."
You know what? Give me a persuasion.
Oh, I'm actually pretty persuasive. It's going to be a 19.
19, okay.
Nice.
You see it considering your words. Kinda.
Okay. Going off of Poppy's words, I'm going to be like, "Yeah, you get off our boat!" And I'm going to hurl a firebolt at it.
Okay.
23 to hit.
23.
Yay.
7 points of fire.
7.
So on the beastie's turn, with that persuasion check and basically realizing that this is a losing fight for it, you do see the tentacles retract as it slips down into the water.
Poppy is convinced that her and Konnor definitely convinced to take it off the boat.
At the end of its next turn, the water probably does something to diffuse this, but 5 die 4.
Well, it can move. So does that sphere move with it, or?
It's just like
It
lingering on its
soaks
skin,
it
like it's
into-
soaked on its skin.
Oh, okay.
So, and you could call that the
Water
water like
washes
diffuses it or whatever, but it's at the end of its turns.
Okay. Go ahead and give me that damage.
It is 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 points of damage.
When the octopus slithers off the boat, I'm gonna, hey, everyone, hold on. And just feel the water, listen. I just have this tear in my head of tentacles coming up on both sides of the boat. Do we feel secure about what's going on?
Okay, I'm just gonna take a nap right here.
Oh, here.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'll help you up. I had to get out of the way because we couldn't both be down.
I would hate for you to be hurt by my
And-
being thrown at your body.
You look like you could take it.
Without a bit.
I feel like the rule is if you find something on watch, you're allowed to go to bed now. So I'm gonna go to bed.
I shall watch now. It is my turn, and I shall watch.
Do you still have claws instead of regular hands?
They will disappear within the next 6 seconds.
You have claws!
I do. One thing that I discovered of about 6 years ago was that when I rage and let the inner beast out, that I have claws that I can use to attack if my swords are not readily accessible.
Would have been nice to have skinned that thing.
What? It
It'd
was...
have made a nice jacket.
Is that an octopus?
That was an octopus, but it is best that he left us alone, and that Poppy has frightened it away.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we weren't out in the middle of the lake.
Well, go write that one in your book, Poppy.
Was that a beast?
Scary
Give
octopus
me
thing.
Gaz, I will let you give me a history. Everyone else can give me either history or nature.
15?
8.
8.
Natural 20.
Fishing in it, so
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
So, Gaz and Konnor, the two of you know the legends and stories about the Lake of Tears and about the quote-unquote defenders of the lake, basically said to be these very intelligent octopus who live in the lake. And some stories are said to just be mischievous pranksters who try to pull the unwary. Sometimes they're said to be dark agents who attack and drown the unwary. But you've heard stories of these creatures.
I have heard about the defenders of the lake, and I am actually glad that we did not have to kill this one, because they are ancient and protectors of the Lake of Tears, and so it is best that it has left us alone and maybe gone to warn the others that we are not to be trifled with.
Konnor, your nat 20, was that for history or nature?
Nature.
Nature, okay. With that 20, you realize this was a baby.
Okay.
This was a juvenile.
So you're
It
saying
was
this
a small one?
This attack was
Yeah, it didn't seem as huge as I remember others talking about these kind of creatures being. And it looked kind of young, like smooth skin, smoother skin than you guys. It was small.
Was there any way we could let it know we don't mean any harm? I mean, I know that, but it attacked us first.
I think hopefully it realized that it would be folly to attack us, and so we should be safe now.
Because yeah, that is the thing. These creatures are highly intelligent. Smarter than some of y'all.
Yep.
If only there was someone here to drop some Tritos into the water.
Wildfire and I'm bless his heart. He's probably seasick, little puppy. So we're
You
just
see him
hanging
like
out.
poke his nose out of the cabin.
It's okay, little baby. We're just gonna take a little snooze.
Yes, and I shall finish out Poppy's watch.
All right. The rest of the night passes without incident. The morning dawns clear and cool as you are on the water.
Okay, here's my thinking. We want Straum to know that we're friends and he should not throw things at us or sink our boat or anything like that. So I'm thinking we use the sails and we put a little note on there that says we are friends, or like draw a picture of Eopix or something. Listen, I don't have much in the way of plans. It's either that or I go alone because I am tiny and unintimidating. and say, hey, my friends are in that boat.
I think to him we're probably all tiny and intimidating, but hopefully this can get us some audience before he gets too aggressive and I whip out my opposite boat.
Do we just want to, like, sail up?
I would say if we had our sails up and we're not trying to seem like we were ambushing.
Was he that close to the water that we could
No, he
sail up and he'd see us?
He was a bit out.
I think we like...
Yeah. No, you guys would have to
Back in the trees.
park the boat, get out of the boat, go say hi.
Yeah.
So we'll park the boat on the shore nearby.
that's good.
We'll get off of the boat. Hey, guys, make the boat tiny.
I shall.
And
Transform.
when we're a bit away, we should probably start calling out for him. Don't want to sneak up on him accidentally.
Just here. I can solve this problem right now. Hey, guys, why don't you tell me your favorite story about something that happened to you in the last stop?
Oh, I remember the
we're
last
walking.
time we were at the last stop, and I was there just to see my mother's. But
Yeah.
then I also decided to go into this new shop owned by this young halfling, a little bit taller than you,
Halfling,
by the name of Hannah Good and her children. And I said, I need manacles, and she produced manacles, and I was able to buy them, and I felt proud to take the last manacles owned by Hannah Good. So anybody else who came in would not get manacles ever again because Gaz, the barbarian, has taken them away.
Meanwhile, small savannah animals are like bounding through the grass, like running away from this noise. Sorry,
Yes,
not my job.
I think the idea of us announcing that we are coming is a,
Yeah. That's what, we want to
really
do no
good idea.
sneaking, no stealth.
He done did hurt us. And he knows that we have manacles.
We also have to consider that we might be coming up on a dying giant. Remember how the condition we left Iopix in? He was a guardian like Iopix.
So we should be sensitive and kind.
I don't know the temper of a giant, but I know sometimes when an animal's dying and it feels threatened, it'll lash out. There's some more things to consider. But I think, this is the best approach. Going in loud.
So, Zonimus, you said when you had been talking to Iopix that he was not well either after having lost his key.
Well, he also is 5,000 years old, so that'll take a toll on you when you no longer have the item that is keeping you young and youthful, and your years starts to slowly creep up and catch up to you. I think at one point in time, eventually, he's either gonna die or just turn into dust. But hopefully, we can get his feather back to him before he does that.
I hope that I will also get a chance to meet Iopix. He is a part of our legends that my mothers have told me about. I'm name dropping for that purpose.
Yeah, you hear, so all of you, as you are walking, you hear a loud thunderclap that shakes the ground as this large footsteps. Who comes speaking the name of Iopix?
Friends of your fellow guardian. Do we see him?
Well,
yet?
you see, like, the tree
ankle.
pushed to the side,
Okay.
and before you, 10 feet tall, bright blue,
I will-
long white beard, staff in one hand. It's a frost giant.
I'll walk that direction and hold out the bow in both hands in a way that it can't be used right now as a, hey, look what I have. Do you recognize this?
Where did you get that?
Iopix gave it to me to show to you as a sign that you can trust us.
And he said to tell you hi. So here we are saying howdy.
Just checking up on you.
That does sound like Iopix.
Doesn't it?
He was always the foolish one. But I suppose he has been right more times than not.
I will put the bow away. How do you fare, great ice giant?
Please, I am Straum. Come, let us go to my camp and we can talk. He starts to lumber in the ground, kind of shakes a little bit as you see him, and he's leaning on this great staff that he has. A little bit hunched, a little bit,
Yeah, I'm watching a Poppy and kind of like, does it look like, I'll whisper in this, look like he's limpid?
He doesn't have his thing. And Iopix was on Iopix is also getting weak. I mean, this guy's real big. He's probably very heavy. So if his joints start to go out, I mean, his knees just can't hold up his weight anymore. She's jostled again by the step.
If he's 5,000 years and he's that tall, he's probably feeling it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's...
But you come to Straum's camp as he turns and sits down on a big old pile of racks that is basically his chair that he uses to support his body. And you do see, looking at you all curiously, is a great mammoth, also blue in color.
Oh, wow.
A frost mammoth.
Listen, it's a lot smaller in my book, and it ain't blue, but oh gosh, this is so cool.
Poppy, what is it?
Well, okay, again, it's not exactly in my book, but it's very similar to creatures.
It's like a bear with boar tusks.
And I will pull
With
my
the note
book
with
and
the
flip
thing.
through and find M for mammoth. But see, this one is brown, and it's just like, well, I mean, it's big, but it's not this big. I think this is like a whirlwind. This is a whirlwind kind of scenario. Where Iopix had his buddy Whirlwind, I think that Straum has his mammoth buddy.
Yes, this is beloved. And he pats the big haunch of the shoulder.
It's hard to be 5,000 years old without a friend.
His name is Beloved.
Her name
Her
is
name
Beloved.
is that's Beloved. That's wonderful.
Do all the guardians have a companion?
No, just me and the Opix.
How long has it been since you had your run-in, I'm guessing, with the Smokes gang?
He kind of massages his chest a bit. Yes, the cauldron. Not quite one full turn of the moon. I had planned to start heading to the north to see if I could locate my old friend. But from what you are speaking, it sounds as if he has already faced his own fate.
Unfortunately, I believe all of your friends have had their keys taken from them while he smokes Moran, which we do believe to be some kind of descendant of the great emperor, and they're trying to raise him back up. The Empire of the Eternal Flame has rekindled, if you'll excuse the pun, and they're trying to
You'll have to speak up and slow down, little one. I'm a bit hard of hearing. You are also very tiny.
Okay. The Empire of the Eternal Flame seems to have rekindled, if you'll excuse the pun. They have gone in search of the other keys, and at this point in time, they have gathered those keys.
Yes, I gathered as much myself that
They are attempting to release Cimarron from his prison, and so are now in search of Thundercrack because they believe that she is keeping his prison close to her lair. In order for us to make progress in our quest to stop them, which I feel like we've been doing pretty good so far, then we are here to ask for your help, guidance, and assistance. Great Straum.
Excellent. Very well said.
What my friend here is trying to say is, or asking for your help, hoping that coming in with the good faith of Iopix will sway you to get us to Thundercrack.
Would that I could. None of us know where she lairs.
Do you have any suspicion to where she might? Because we do kind of have a roundabout idea.
We got a big old block of land that it's big. Anything that can help us narrow it down. We heard rumors that there's a temple to Thundercrack down here, and we were hoping maybe that might have some information that might be helpful.
Yes, the temple. That is where she used to meet with us.
Oh, you guys had meetings?
I mean, we were planning a rebellion. We kind of had to.
How big was that table in that conference room?
Oh, I sat on the floor.
I'm just picturing a dragon and a giant.
Yeah.
And Iopix who's just normal sized.
Oh, I used to put Iopix up on my shoulder. It's fine. Either that or I would just inadvertently find him up there. He's a squirrely little creature like that.
You know what? That tracks.
The location of the temple would be a great lead.
But we also need to get to the mines. We need a flight crystal.
Flight crystals. Now, what would you be doing with those?
Well, in order to make, Thundercrack, she way out west. We gotta get there fast, because Wiley already has all the 4 keys. So as soon as he figures out where Cimarron is, and like the magic words or whatever, then he's gonna open it up. We gotta make up time, and look at these little legs. I ain't going anywhere fast.
We have found someone who can build a flying ship, but they need a flight crystal to get it up and going.
Fascinating. We
And
thought
great-
the technology lost.
No, great Straum, there's a dwarf who seems to have kind of reversed engineered from an ancient flying ship that Aopix brought down. But more importantly than that, there is some descendant named Seraphina who has activated or even rebuilt to pristine condition a big ship.
Well, now.
And if we can match their technology by having a flight crystal, we might have a chance of getting ahead of them.
Well, you've convinced me.
Greetings and salutations, my friends. I'm Michael Cross. So great to have a moment to talk with you during this mid-show break. First off, I want to invite you all to join us as Patreon members. The money we raise helps us pay for things like the music and sound effects you hear on the show, as well as money to go to events and make new fans. When you become a Patreon member, you get our episodes 4 days early, bonus content, access to our Discord server, and full versions of our roundtable discussions. You'll be joining other fans like Scott Wise, Don Mills, Heath Mormon, and the Lady Kate. So join us right now at patreon.com/reddirtdnd. Another way to support us is by getting your very own Red Dirt merchandise. You can find things like hats, hoodies, mugs, and t-shirts. Just click on the merch tab at reddirtdnd.com or reddirtrpg.com. Since 2020, the Red Dirt D&D podcast has been close to another Oklahoma actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, D20 to Curtain. And me personally, I've had a chance to work on stage with some of the actors on the show. So when you get done with this episode, you should check them out.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer. I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons & Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20 to Curtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
If you're looking for more content, make sure to check out our YouTube page with Mysteries of Beatrix live every Wednesday. Keys from the Golden Vault from the Red Dirt Outlaws dropping every Tuesday at noon, and Plausible Deniability every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So come check it out at youtube.com/@RedDirtRPG or search for Red Dirt RPG on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you. Find us on social media at Red Dirt RPG. You can also get in touch with us through our website at reddirtrpg.com. In the meantime, make sure and subscribe to this podcast and leave a comment on your favorite podcatcher so others can find us. All right, I think that's everything I need to tell you. Right now, let's head back to Red Dirt D&D.
You have found one of the other guardians, Straum, who was once the guardian of the Water Key, the Mother's Cauldron. As you have convinced him to assist you in locating Thundercrack's temple, as well as the mine for flight crystals, he begins to pack up camp. You know, this huge tent he easily rolls up gets all the wooden stakes and everything, gathers up his gear and kind of packs it all onto Beloved, who stands there very, very quietly, very solemnly, and accepts his gear. Then he kind of looks around for a minute and then looks to you all. Would you like a ride?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
I'm good.
Yes.
And I pick up Mocker and we're going to go for a ride.
I'll pick up Poppy.
He leans down, with this big hand, and you can, step onto it as he lifts you up and puts you atop Beloved.
I tried to whisper into her ear. Does she talk like Whirlwind talked?
Do you use beast speech?
I didn't feel like talking it, so no. But I say, hey, I know that you can understand me even though you can't say anything back because you seem really smart. I just want you to know that you are beautiful and you are strong and I'm so honored to meet you. And this is the coolest thing that's probably ever happened to me ever. And a nice little tiny hand pat.
Little scritch on the top of the head, and you feel this big, this huge trunk kind of come up and just very gingerly pat.
Yes!
All right, little ones, where would you like to go first?
I think we should check out this mine first, because that is probably our first goal. Once we have that, we'll know where to go once we look at the temple.
A good plan. All right, then. And you set off.
Is he just walking? And we're walking beside
he's
him?
walking along.
We're on the beat. We're on Beloved.
Yes, and he's walking beside
He's
it.
walking beside us.
Yeah, so he's walking next to the mammoth. Beloved is walking
Precise
with him.
comparison.
She's kind of swinging her trunk happily.
Is she to giant man? Is she horse-sized or is she big?
She's about as big as he is.
Okay.
So it's kind of a situation where it's like pack oxen and,
Gotcha.
So it's a giant mammoth. It is.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
Like
a regular
yeah, like a
mammoth.
12.
Yeah, which mammoths are normally very large anyway.
Yeah.
No,
She's a
so
magic.
mammoths are huge beasts, and frost giants are huge. So they're about the same size.
Oh, so it's a normal mammoth.
Yeah.
I'm going to, in Elvish, look up to the giant and not motion or anything, and just in Elvish say, "Pardon me, mighty giant," and see if he responds.
He kind of just looks back to you and, in Elvish says, "Yes."
You seem to be getting along well since they took the key from you. Better than Iopix.
He is smaller than I am.
Maybe you have better medicine?
I don't know. I feel the weakening as it's coming upon me.
Have you done anything to treat it?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
I understand.
And again, it's that whole situation of he's a giant. He may have, again, he might be just physically stronger than Iopix is.
Right, I know, for like the water from the lake helped or something, just looking for an answer.
It's maybe a potential just because he's lived his life. And again, you're dealing with a water element versus air, so.
Still, in Elvish, I didn't mean to bring you bad news of your friend. Let's change the subject. What drink do you have most readily available?
Water.
Oh, I mean drink. I shake my fist.
You. I have not had much to drink in a long, long time. I have abstained, mostly because I have been waiting for the day my brothers should return.
Well, perhaps before we part ways, we can have one drink in honor of Iopix. And then I'll turn back in common and say, yes, exactly, Gaz, we're going to need some of that mead, enough for a motion up to him. Kind of letting on like we've just been talking about booze and food. That's what we've been talking about.
Do you see how large he is? Do you know how much of my mead it would take to get this thing drunk?
Well, he may not want to get drunk. He may just want to sip.
So I would look up Straum. I've never even heard about giants. Are there a lot of giants out here in the Caliban?
A few others. Most of them keep to the deserts. I am the only frost giant that I am aware of.
Does your frostiness keep you cool in the desert, or does the heat affect you more because you're used to the cold?
Why do you think I stay near the lake?
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Sometimes I just go and, take a nice dip and stay there for some time. Feels nice.
Do the giant octopuses play with you too?
Oh, once in a while we wrestle and it is great fun.
I'm sure it is. She has non-flashbacks.
We wrestled one last night.
Ah, good.
Yes, it seemed to enjoy playing, but then it left, which was good because it was not going to be long, and I didn't want to hurt it. It seemed fairly intelligent.
Oh yes, they are fascinating creatures. Sometimes they will touch the mind of a creature and speak with it.
Oh.
Oh man, we could have tried that.
Too busy trying to keep him from crushing the boat and eating us. Playful little guy, doesn't know his own strength.
Tell me, Straum, how long has it been since anybody has been to this temple, do you know?
To the temple, many years.
These new friends of mine have a journal of sorts that appears to have been made many decades ago by a traveler to the temple. Were you aware of his presence?
No, I must have been out of the area at the time.
And this mine, are there any dangers that we must be aware of?
Well, it used to be a place of great activity for the Empire. They had to mine many flight crystals to keep the ships aloft. I do not know if anything still lingers in there. It has been quite some time, and I myself am not physically able to enter. Its entrance is too small for me, but I've done my best to keep people away from it. That is how I lost the cauldron.
How did you lose it?
Oh, it was a mighty battle, but they managed to hold me down with magic and numbers. That is when they took it from me. Once they had what they wanted, they left me for dead.
Were they just the Black Smoke's gang, just humans, or were there more amongst them?
No, there were others.
What kind of others?
Creatures of elemental fire.
Were they wearing collars by chance?
No. They looked closer to the ancient warriors that the Empire used.
Like a fire elemental, or some mephits with them?
Not mephits. Mephits are small and annoying.
And so fire elementals.
Fire elementals caged in armor.
So, after they attacked you and got the cauldron, did they go into the temple?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Can walk and roll on that. Fire animals caged in armor. Dang it. Nope. Natural 8.
I mean, it would make sense, because these would be, Empire-specific elementals.
Yeah.
So.
But they're not Azures. They're not...
No.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't sound like Azures. Most of what you know is, either you've got free, floating, elemental creatures, or Azures who are of fire, but are, embodied. Yeah. No, that doesn't ring any bells.
His description is fire elemental, armored fire elementals.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lord Straum, I ain't never heard of... I know of elementals and fire, and of course, in the dwarven depths, sometimes you will touch into their realm, especially in lava pools and things like that. I ain't never heard of them donning any type of gear. What are they?
I do not know the proper name for them, but I do know that the Empire was very keen on using them when they were at the height of their power.
So does this bring it back that the Empire is rising again? Does that not give you pause?
I had my concerns, but now I have more.
Cimarron himself was from the Plane of Fire. Looks like he still had an army there, and he's bringing them over, and he's strengthening them.
Wiley's bringing them over.
They're being brought
They're
over.
being brought over.
Through his blood.
By blood unbound.
Well, that would give Wiley the ability and the authority to command the army.
And Fortunato could, open doors at will.
Fortunato.
Oh, bathrobes.
He was a force to be feared.
Was he not with the group that came?
Wait, he's still alive?
Oh, yes.
So
wait, what? You're talking of him in the past?
When we knew Fortunato, he was but a man.
Oh, great Straum.
And I look at Zonimus.
He's found a way to beat death and become death itself.
That is grave news.
I'd say he's probably many times more powerful than the last time you saw him. We had another traveling companion, a friend, that he took just by speaking words to him.
We always knew to fear Fortunato. He was Cimarron's great magical advisor, but to hear that he has succumbed to darker magics, well, I cannot say that I am surprised.
He was a human originally?
Yes.
Let's talk of planar beings. Do you think that Thundercrack stays on this plane? Layers on this plane?
As far as I know, she would.
All right.
Although Fortunato is exceedingly more powerful than he used to be, he is not overtly leading. He is leading from behind, acting more of a mastermind puppeteer kind of situation.
That sounds like him.
Right, and is acting through Wiley, who we believe to possibly maybe be some kind of descendant of Cimarron in one way or another.
That's right, Poppy. If Wiley is indeed the bloodline, and Fortunato used to be an advisor, he may still feel some type of loyalty to the noble family.
Well, of course, we saw him in the Mesa. He called Wiley Your Highness, although he did not. Here's the thing. Fortunato didn't seem like he wanted to contradict Wiley in front of others, but then they went to the war room and it seemed like they were gonna have a discussion. I can't think of the word that I want, but he wouldn't contradict Wiley in front of the men, but he is definitely power player and is running the show from behind.
From what you saw while you were in the Mesa, it definitely was a situation where, yes, Wiley seemed like he was in charge, but yeah, Fortunato definitely was offering advice, but in such a way that, with kind of an implication that, you should definitely follow my advice.
Right.
You should definitely.
He's pulling the
Unsolicited
strings.
advice.
That's so good that Poppy would pick up on that because she's seen that kind of conversation happen before, right?
Yeah.
That's so good.
It's the power behind the throne.
Yeah.
So, how far away to this mine?
Well, with my stride, we should be there by sundown.
Excellent.
So, Straum, do you know the fate of any of the other Guardians? Have you heard anything from them since you were attacked?
No, we have lost touch over the years.
You don't have any type of message, contact way to... Well, that was probably embodied in the keys, I imagine.
We used to at the beginning, we were close. We were all friends, we had fought together, battle brothers. But as time went by, we began to drift. As the memories of the Empire and the memories of the fight faded, and started out we would meet up every year, and then every 5 years, 10 years, 20. And now it seems, once a century, if that.
I mean, Iopix is with the elves. He has that kind of strength. You have your strength. I believe that Grandmother Orble also is safely tucked away with the orcs. From what Iopix told us, she stayed with them after everything and has been with their nomadic tribes. The one I would be most concerned about would be Islay, who would have been at the mouth of the plane of Dortafaya, which they seem to be using to bring all these fire elementals into this plane. So most likely they would be captured if they're still alive. That would be the one I'd be most concerned about.
Islay, though I would not wish it, I believe in my heart of hearts that she may have given her life to defend her key.
That's kind of what I felt like too.
Of all of us, she was the most ferocious.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss. And I pat the mammoth because I can't reach him. He's way over there.
Little one, when you are my age, you have seen the dawn and the twilight of many.
Yeah, I've only seen... I'm new to the frontier. I don't know if you picked up on that. I haven't been out here for very long. And my life before I came out here was, we'll call it sheltered. I didn't experience much in the way of grief or loss, but I've had to experience that recently, and I'm not sure how to do it. I've never had... I wish there was a book. And I know there's not a book, and I know everybody grieves differently, but I feel like I'm not grieving appropriately. And that's troublesome to me. But I don't know why I'm telling you. You're just really easy to talk to. Has anyone ever told you that?
I've heard that many a time.
I also really like the fact that we're all on the back of this and we're close together. Maybe like kind of
and his voice
touching
booms.
hips to hips or whatever. And Poppy just literally has everybody around her possibly right now. It's
not so much that he's easy to talk to, it's that it's easy for you to talk. Poppy likes to talk a lot.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
It's
because
good for
I like
her.
the contrast of I am comfortable now so that you see it, and then it's the I'm uncomfortable, I'm a bird go.
Yes.
Straum, with all due respect, did you have any warning that they were coming for you?
No.
Did you happen to see undescribed Wiley? Was he amongst them?
He was the one who cut the key from me.
Azonimus, here's my thought. They didn't Mr. Great Straum didn't see him coming, but yet Fortunato wasn't with him. Did they come out here mundane like we did?
Well...
Or did they pop in and out in that way that Fortunato can move?
Fortunato wasn't with them at Iopix either. He just had a bunch of orcs out there.
Here's what I'm looking for. I thought maybe it was a coordinated attack and all spots got hit at once, because when he hit Iopix,
that's smart.
That was just taking advantage of where Iopix was, and there was already a battle going on, and he showed up by himself. While that was happening, though, was there a group attacking Straum? At the same time, another group was attacking another Guardian. No, that's not the case. So, when they left Straum, did you send warning to anyone?
I have no way of knowing where the others are. If I could, I would have.
Zonomus looks around at those with him on the back of this mammoth and thinks that one day this is going to end, and that he will always want to know where every one of you are, and that he will never go years and years without talking to you.
Red Dirt D&D Tales from the Caliban Frontier as Ash King as our Dungeon Master, Brooke Bullock as Mokran Stoneshaper, Johnny Payne as Zonomus Dinar, Kiri Hester as Poppy Tealeaf, Konnor Shenold as Konnor the Kobold, and I'm Michael Cross as Gaz. Special thanks to our Silver Star Paladin patron Shenanigans Unplugged. Our theme music was created by the cinemagician P.J. Castillo. Our incidental music comes from Jeffrey McBride. Our sound effects and additional music courtesy of tabletopaudio.com and Monument Studios. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and at reddirtdnd.com. We here at Red Dirt D&D could really use your help in getting the word out about us. If you like what you've heard, make sure and subscribe, rate us, and leave a comment. Also, tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D. You can also support the show at patreon.com/reddirtdnd. We have several giving levels to help us grow up big and strong. Join us next time as we go deeper into the Caliban Frontier.
Playing with the barbarian as if he is a yo-yo.
That's the Oklahoma octopus. It's got me.
It decides it's going to throw the barbarian at you.
Zonomus, catch me!
Nimble dodge.
He just steps out of the way.
Mokran's behind that. Bam!
The cephalopod is doing the Wolverine because you have the claws.
It's a fastball special.
Fastball special. I was trying to think of the name of it.
I thought he was doing the Thor and Loki get help.
Oh my god.
I went to the animated Sinbad, and when we fling Gaz down onto the deck, we can say, give that man a raise.
He's very intelligent eyes. Just going to narrow you.
You I shall eat last.
It is 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 points of damage.
Okay.
So not much.
Slamazel.
2, 4, 6.
We're gonna do it. Give us any chance, we'll take it. Give us any rule, we'll break it.
We're gonna make our dreams come true.
Okay, so
Doing it our way.
after
Check out
the
the glove.
octopus,
That's the hand on the glove. God.
after the octopus leaves, we turn into a showboat.
So yeah.
If my swords are not readily accessible, me in my nightgown here, I did not have my swords with me.
Runs around the day with no shirt. Sleeps in a nightgown.
Like Christmas Carol style. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Totally what Connor said
like
earlier.
the night dress.
The night dress, the little hat with the little ball at the end of it. He's
Well, you
got
know.
his plushie next to him.
Because Gaz, the barbarian, has
Gaz.
taken them away.
The barbarian.
How long ago did you buy those?
It was like 6
I'm making
years ago.
perception checks the whole time.
They never restocked in 6 years?
There's not a big
Dang.
market for it.
Very well said.
And Kiri didn't even write that speech down. That was off the dome.
But you will get your music.
Well, you've convinced me.
That's a great Patreon break right there. Well, all right then, let's go.
Straum needs to give the Patreon.
Yeah.
You convinced me, and now I'm going to try to convince you. Patreon.
You're going to be a Patreon right now.
How do you find the ice giant in the desert? Follow the bonfire.
You know, it's like he's old now. Like when your grandma keeps at 110, you know.
Losing meat off my bones rapid.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. So it's a normal
But she's
myth.
blue.
Yes, but yes, it's Babe.
Totally.
It's Babe the Blue Ox.
I totally thought we were having an ox instead of a mammoth.
Michael made fun of us because when you and I get into roleplay moments, we get really quiet and really close to each other.
You do.
Pick us up.
You do. You're both very, very quiet.
Everyone
right now.
fades away. The
I'm
room
going
goes dark.
to switch
It's just
you and
I. So I have to shout at the end of the table again.
Who we believe to possibly maybe be some kind of descendant of Cimarron in one way or another. We don't have a 23andMe test to find that out, but we can safely assume that, I believe.
Message, contact way to... Well, that was probably embodied in the keys, I imagine.
They don't have beepers.